When we talk about cold prospecting, we often think of cold emailing, much more than cold calling, which is associated to a lot of obstacles. It's time-consuming, I will probably disturb them, what should I say? However, if this method is still used, it is because it works. But you still have to follow the 10 commandments related to cold calling. Information about your prospects you shall have. If you are contacting a specific company, it's probably because you have a prospecting list already. In this list, you have the phone number, obviously, but you also might have the industry sector, the company size, its revenue, and all other pertinent information to tailor your pitch. Additionally, it is useful to have data regarding the level of commitment. Has your prospect already subtly shown interest in your field? Have they attended webinars, liked or commented on your posts, or participated in groups related to your topic? Prepared in advance, you shall be. Lack of preparation in cold calling can be fatal. It's like showing up for a Saturday morning exam without having studied at all, and focusing your hardest to get the quarter of a point on your MCQ. It never works. There is of course preparation in terms of content, meaning preparing a script, something to follow to the later, or at least having a guiding thread. Also thinking about objections. This way you will be many steps ahead of the person on the other side. But there is also preparation in terms of form. Cold calling is a difficult exercise. It is perfectly normal to face major rejections. In this regard, it is important to set clear, quantified, and realistic goals without being overly tense. And these objectives can only be effectively set if the script has been prepared beforehand.
Le script, ça a une vertu aussi, c'est que c'est un élément qui permet de comparer objectivement. Ça peut paraître bête, mais en fait, si on dit jamais 3 fois la même chose, comment on peut savoir si en fait c'est le client qui est pas bon, c'est le fichier qui est pas bon, c'est la personne qui est pas bonne?
Personalization you shall apply. To make the prospect feel concerned, you must be as specific as possible. This is a moment to make use of our prospecting file. Use the name of the contact person, if available, but most importantly, before talking about our solution, before talking about our product, you need to delve into the prospect's problems. It reminds me of this scene in Jerry Maguire. You know, that one. Show me the money! Yes, that one. It's because Tom Cruise listens to his client's issues all the way through that he managed to keep him. Your argument you shall adapt. Once the prospect needs are identified, you can present your argument. An example of the method is the feature, advantage, benefit approach. Okay, an example. This apartment has 3 bedrooms. Feature: each child has their own room. Advantage: your children won't drive you nuts. Benefit: let's do one more. This is a pen.
This is a pen.
Feature: I can write with it. Advantage: I can therefore sign the contract I have in front of me. Benefit: being aggressive you shall avoid. Show me the money! Not like that. I think the best example would be Valentin from Dialid. With Scrub.io, we made a video with Valentin where he did live cold calling. As you will see, Valentin is extremely calm. The phone call was in French, so we translated it for you.
Oui, bonjour madame, c'est Valentin de la société Raja. Je suis passé devant votre local et je me suis dit que ce serait intéressant d'échanger avec vous.
Oui, vous avez bien fait.
Super. Je ne sais pas si vous connaissez Raja, on est partenaire notamment de la société Uber Eats.
Je connais Uber Eats, alors Raja, je connais pas.
Alors pour vous expliquer rapidement ce qu'on... Ok, Pour vous expliquer rapidement ce qu'on fait,
Objections you shall handle. The main advantage of cold calling is that once the prospect has answered the phone, they are obliged to speak with you. Therefore, you are more capable of handling objections. Unlike cold emailing, where if the prospect has an objection, they simply won't respond. To handle an objection, listen actively, ask questions, and respond with empathy. To illustrate my point, let me tell you the story of the hitting salesman. This is the story of a hitting salesman. Just as he was about to close a deal, the client retorted, "When I put my hand on the heater, it's burning hot." The salesman did not get defensive. Instead, he responded, "I understand your concern. Can you please tell me under what circumstances you placed your hand on the heater?" The exchange continued a bit, and the salesman concluded with a smile, "In that case, it might be best not to put your hand on it." A somewhat lengthy process, but more effective than simply replying, "Well, don't put your hand on it, you idiots." Listening, you shall prioritize. The mistake to avoid at all costs is putting too much pressure on the sale in the first few minutes. It's like proposing marriage after the first drink. Instead, take the time to listen. Do you know the metaphor of the orange? Yes, it is related to what we are discussing right now. Two people are fighting over an orange. In the end, they decide to cut it in half, and each walks away with their half. The problem is that the use they wanted to make of it was different. The first wanted the juice of the orange, while the second wanted the zest. They achieved a lose-lose situation. Listening to the other person means identifying potential opportunities that wouldn't have been seen at first glance. Follow-up calls you shall do. The goal of a cold call is not to sell, it is to set an appointment. This is why it is important to follow up with the prospects. In case of failure, the follow-up also applies from one prospect to another. Actually, this is why preparing a script is mandatory. It is not set in stone. It is constantly evolving. With each call, you can identify what works and what doesn't work. We can make it more and more effective. Scrap.io you shall use. The best starting point of a cold calling campaign is your prospecting file. And a good prospecting file is like money at war. It is paramount. And the more detailed your file is, the better your campaign will be. Because your calls will be more targeted, will be more specific, will be more personalized. So if you want to contact small and medium-sized companies you can find on a daily basis, the best platform to gather all your data is on Google Maps. On Google Maps you can get a comprehensive set of data, including phone numbers, no matter of what country you are living in. But still, collecting the data is not an easy process. And that is the reason why, to allow everyone to get their file within a few clicks, we have created Scrap.io. Scrap.io is the ultimate weapon of web scraping on Google Maps. If you click the link in the description and create your account, you will get your first 100 leads free of charge. Once it is done, you can make your requests, meaning you can pick up a category, one category among the 4,000 different categories listed on Google Maps, and you associate it with a location. But the problem is, if I search for restaurants in New York, you will see that there are too many restaurants. Fortunately, I can filter my data out. For example, I can target only restaurants with a website, or better, with ad pixels on the website. Moreover, maybe with a rating below 3 out of 5. Each time you set up a filter, you will get the number of results written here. And once you've got something that suits your need, you can simply export your database. On your Exports tab, you will see all the exports you have done so far on Scrap.io. And once your database is completed, you can export it in a CSV or Excel file. And here is what a Scrap.io file looks like. As you can see, you can get up to 70 different columns. So if you want to try out scrap.io for free, the link remains in the description. Show me the money! There is nothing else to see. The end.